News Interactive is brought to you by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
All right, so Efwa Harrison is back, and she's here to give us a Joy News Interactive to give us everything.
Yes, this is where you get to join in the show with your comments. Welcome to the evening edition of Joy News Interactive. Remember, the segment is brought to you by Airtel. Enjoy more talk, longer text, and more internet browsing. Just dial *202# to enjoy an Airtel Too Much pack. Now, you can find us on social media on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. It's the same name for Twitter at Joy News on TV, and our WhatsApp number is 0560800,000. Please remember to add your name and location when sending us a message to that number. Now, I have a question for you. Do you feel safe? Israel, do you feel safe?
Fairly so.
Fairly
actually.
so?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm asking this because it's a question we asked earlier on our Facebook page, and a lot of people have been commenting. It's got over 100 comments, and it's coming on the back of the terrorist attack in neighboring Burkina Faso. And just recently, a few hours ago, the Al-Qaeda claimed responsibility for gunning down 29 patrons of the Splendid Hotel in Ouagadougou, and the militant group has even released the names of the gunmen. Here in Ghana, however, the Ministry of Interior is taking action, and security is being beefed up not only at the nation's borders but at malls, churches, schools, among other places where a large number of people can be found. So do keep an eye out and tell us if you see any difference in the level of security in public areas over the next couple of weeks. However, Ghanaians we spoke to earlier today say they don't feel too safe.
We have people who have relations with Al-Qaeda in our country. So we could feel safe, yes, but being close to us, we need to think twice about it and act.
Burkina Faso is just close to us. Anything that happens in Burkina Faso can easily happen in Ghana. Anybody can easily run from Burkina Faso to Ghana here. And you understand that? And we have Upper West region, which is closer to Burkina Faso, where people easily walked with their bare foot from Burkina and to Burkina Faso.
I got scared because Burkina Faso share borders with us, and then anything can happen. I mean, they can come into Ghana and then all this stuff. So, and I even learned that 3 of them or so suspects of them have been brought to Ghana. So I think we are not safe.
We are safe in terms of our security, though I don't know our security, the strength of our security now. But actually, as we are hearing those kind of problems in different countries, what we can do is that we should get prepared at any time. Anything can happen at this time we are now.
So those are your comments from the streets. Israel, what are people saying on Facebook?
All right, so let's get on to Facebook. Diogratius Adade says, yes, very safe, because President Mahama, so he says yes, very safe, and that would have been cool, but he goes on to explain, says, because President Mahama will deploy his invisible forces to protect every single citizen of Ghana, so not even a single soul will perish. In case that fails, he will get in touch with President Obama to send some strong American Marines to intervene.
Wow.
And then all these replies are coming. So this Chief Dean just laughs, and he says, seriously? Joseph says, shaking my head. Watson says, joke of the day. Obama be like, you're on your own. And then Bruce King says, what have you been smoking? Diogratius again comes like Bruce. Okay, so he comes like Bruce King, okra leaves.
He's
so
been smoking
seriously.
okra leaves.
Then Nanama says, how interesting, can't stop laughing. Hey, and why? He can't even buy boots for police. He can't defeat the headsmen, Fulani headsmen.
It can get pretty interesting on Facebook.
Oh yes, it does. And then Kruma says, Ghana is safe, believe it or leave it. The soldiers of this land are not those you see. God is with us, since this country will be the highest hope for us Africans and the rest of the world. God's hand is seen hovering around. Psalm 91 going, Lord, okay, so he goes on. And he has some quotations. Amos says, no, Ghana is not safe as we have been exposed to more risk of attack. Ghanaians and the NDC, okay. George Prempeh says, I don't know why we are safe. Even the USA I don't think we are safe. Even the USA with much more security tech, they are complaining of security threats and are on high alert. So how do we even come to the point that we are safe?
Well, let me go on to WhatsApp. And this one says, we in the villages are safe, but those in the city are not safe. But you don't add your name and location. This one is from Shiftman, who is watching the show. He says, when your president only shows compassion to terrorists, why won't you fear for your life? Ghana is in leadership crisis. So this one is from Shiftman. And this one just says, I wonder why some Ghanaians tend to trivialize every single issue, even including our security. There were no ex-Gitmo detainees sent to Burkina Faso, yet they have been attacked. So what nexus is there? Though they are our next door neighbors, our security is intact. Let's not run them down. And this from Barima Kubaji in Jini. Okay, and Burkina Faso is one of the trending topics on Twitter as well. We'll see if we can get some of the comments and news stories that are coming through on Twitter later on. But speaking of security issues, how are you feeling about Guantanamo Bay these days? Are you still pissed off with whatever deal our country's government made with the United States? Still think government made an impulsive decision without consultations? Well, security expert Ibad Ibrahim made a comment that seems to suggest that the opposition party leader Nana Akufo-Addo knew about Gitmo at least 6 months in advance. The story is on myjoyonline.com. And he said this morning on the Super Morning Show that I can tell you on authority that Nana Addo, based on my contacts, he was duly informed about the arrival of the Gitmo guys more than 6 months before they touched down in Accra. And he disputed public claims that government failed to consult broadly on the controversial decision to bring in the terror suspects. Now, since then, the office of the opposition party leader has released a statement saying that a bad statement, Israel, is totally false, and he was informed about the case of the Gitmo detainees 2 weeks prior to their arrival, and he was informed not by Ghana government but by the U.S. Embassy. So that's what's going down. But a lot of people have been commenting on this story on Facebook. The backlash, it's not pretty.
So he posted the story, the same story you read. Nana Addo was consulting on Gitmo detainees, bad, and it's gotten 46 shares and has more than 100 comments. And Asante Wiafe says, another propaganda pioneer. Nana was consulted by Parliament, and Interior Minister did not know. Please stop throwing dust into our eyes. That's all. Somebody should go and somebody should come. Mami C. Davenport says, so it's actually Nana Addo knew, your Interior Minister didn't know. Wow, thumbs up to my future president. This shows that nothing passes him by.
That hints of sarcasm to me.
Exactly. And then Medzira says, is Nana Addo the only flag bearer of the opposition parties in Ghana? Why people not mentioning other presidential candidates? Canton says, when consulted, who? If Nana Addo was consulted, in what capacity was he consulted? Ghanaians are more mature than what you think we are, please. I want to also put it to you that you're not the only intellectual in Ghana. As Arabediako says, I hear these things and I wonder the kind of education some Ghana leaders had. You think people were kids or what? I don't believe you consulted him. And if you did, why? So he can make decisions for you, please. If the NDC want to do bad by themselves, it's fine. Stop involving innocent people for your dirty decisions.
And on WhatsApp, King David does not think Nana Addo was informed. So those are some of the comments from social media. Now let me take you to the most read article on myjoyonline.com today. It's all about Joyce Dijo Mensah. Okay, now she's a former HIV/AIDS ambassador, and she has made an apology to Ghanaians. Now, for those of you who do not remember, I'm sure everyone remembers Joyce, though. Israel, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I remember Joyce's story very well.
Yeah, in 2014, she comes out to say she's okay. So she's an HIV/AIDS ambassador prior to the year 2014, and then she comes out to say that, hey, I don't have AIDS.
I don't have HIV. And then people are wondering, okay, so where's this story coming from? Because you've actually, featured in the movie about yourself, about your HIV story. The husband even spoke to us from London, telling us that, nah, don't listen to her. She doesn't know why she's doing that. So everything else pointed to the fact that she was actually telling us fibs.
Yes.
Then she now comes back over the weekend to say,
I'm sorry,
I have HIV.
I have HIV.
And
I
wrote
lied.
a letter to the an apology letter to the president.
And basically she did it because there's a lot of stigma around her and her children. She did it for the children, Israeli. But what are people saying on Facebook?
So we posted the story as I indicated here, and Peter Papako says, why? It's Almighty Joy and other media houses giving attention to this confused lady. She's no longer relevant to the cause of fighting HIV, period. Newman Stanley says, we have serious national issues looking for solutions. Whether Jijo has AIDS or not, it's her own cup of Lipton or Milo.
Oh.
And it says, MPP and DC are confusing us on these election issues, and we don't even know whom to trust for national development, and all attention has been shifted to Jijo. Ghana, let's wake up. So people are not really amused by it. Okay,
and finally, before we go, Israel, 2 years ago, Ghanaians woke up to the news, the death of an icon. You worked with Komla Dumor. How have you accepted his loss?
Well, I have in a way. I've come to accept it, and I, increasingly, on occasions like this, when it's the anniversary, then I just recall, and it gets me to go back. But also, then I remember the times we worked together and all that, and I mean, there are lots of things to like about Komla.
Yeah, a lot of people have been remembering Komla Dumor, and it's trending on Twitter. If you can go there and just take a
so let's see, just about a few weeks to his 41st birthday. The photo was actually taken on his 41st birthday. And then a few weeks after that, he passed. And this was in Mauritius.
May his soul continue to rest.
And the comments that are coming on the back of it, essentially Komla Dumor was a brave journalist. He always pointed to the truth, but not like those we have today taking sides, RIPP. And lots of the comments are like that. Rafiq says, I was so devastated when the news broke on that fateful Wednesday that you're gone. Till today, I still miss you.
All right, and that's it for the interactive segment. Thank you for your company. My name is Ifua Kwara Harrison. Good evening.